Whenever you've got sequences which are very divergent or where the alignment is going to be challenging, there are possible differences between the different alignment programs you could try. So it's a good idea to try at least a couple of alignment programs to see which one gives you the best alignment. And if possible, the more alignment programs you can try, the better. So in this particular case, we're just going to focus on two that I happen to have downloaded, which are Clustal-Omega and Muscle, because these are the two that I've talked about mostly within this particular module, or the ones that I'm most familiar with using. The first thing I need to do is open Windows PowerShell. I'm going to use the x86 version. Oh, actually I didn't. I used the normal version. Doesn't really make any difference. Now I need to move to D, which is the directory which has my files. It helps if I don't just type D. I need to CD to D. And I've gone to D downloads. CD, that's better. CDD and downloads. Now I can go into bioinformatics sessions, which actually contains the files, and I can list to see what files are there. So here I can see the NA and the HA sequences. The NA ones haven't been edited, the HA ones have been edited to make it easier for the alignment to work. It's not a really big issue, but you might find you need to do an initial alignment and then do some editing and then do a final alignment. It's going to depend on each particular case and how difficult it actually is to do the alignment. So I'm going to run muscle minus align, which is the alignment function, the name of the HA sequences, and then it's going to go to a new file which is going to be the name of, well, I keep the same beginning of the file name, so the same general sequence name or something useful. You could put the date that you're going to do the particular work or the date that the data was downloaded from, and I'm going to call it HA and then aligned. Just make sure that you specify the alignment. Oh, and I need to specify that it's muscle aligned. It also helps if I remember how the program works. By pressing minus out. Oh no. What I need to do is run the muscle for the first file, and then I need to edit the command line and run it on the second file to make sure that I've got the HA and then the NA. It's really important to have systematic file names, so to use them to tell which programs you've done for the alignment, to tell it which database you got the data from, to tell it which type of data it particularly is, so whether it's NA, Neuraminidase or HA. It's important here because we're comparing two alignment programs to say one of the files is muscle aligned and the other one, when we get around to it, is going to be aligned using Clustal-Omega. So here with muscle, it shows you that it's doing the alignment and that it's completed. So that worked very quickly because they're not massive files, they don't contain hundreds and hundreds of sequences, and it aligns quite quickly. So I can just have a little look with ls to show that the files are all there. So now I've finished doing the ones with muscle. Next thing I need to do is use Clustal-Omega, which is in the Clustal-Omega directory, and I need to find out first how it works. So I'm going to type --help. So this tells you all of the structure of the command line. So it tells you it's -I, the name of the input file. Then there's all these options that you can pick to specify how you want to do it. I don't want to pick any of these options. I want to keep it simple at this particular time. So a typical example is Clustal-Omega XC -I, your input sequences, -O, your output sequences. I'm also going to specify the output format just to make sure that it's the correct one, because I don't want it accidentally saved in Clustal format. I want it in faster format, which is out format equals A2N. So that's all the details of that particular file format. So now I can start typing my command. So I can go down to the command prompt and I can type in a command which is going to take an input sequence, define an output format, and define the name of the output sequence that I'm going to do. So I go down here, so I type it in, Clustal X, so I remove the help thing, give it the name of the sequence that I wish to do. Let's see, I've forgotten already whether it has 2 dashes or 1 dash. So for the input, it has only 1 dash. For the other arguments, the more complicated things, it has 2 dashes. Name of the file. I've done, I press the tab key to automatically complete. Unfortunately, it's automatically completed, giving me the wrong file name, because I want the input file name without it being aligned already by Muscle. Then I want to type this output format command. Now I need to remember here, and I haven't remembered, and I need to double check. Does this have 1 or 2 dashes, and what's the exact format for it? So let's go and have a little look at the thing. So I can look there again, check the format of that particular command. So I need 2 dashes here at the start of it. So for the file name I need 1, for this I need 2. Then I do the output file, the name of the output file. Again, it's just automatically generated the name, and I need to edit it because I need definitely to tell this is the Clustal-Omega output. I don't want to write over the file that I've already done correctly, the muscle one, with my Clustal-Omega output. So I need to make sure that it systematically has a different name. The muscle aligned sequences say muscle aligned in their file names. The Clustal-Omega say Clustal-Omega aligned. It doesn't give me any hint about it, what the process like you get in muscle. It's just doing something and the cursor's flashing, and then suddenly you get it back. So I can type more to check that particular file that it's just done, and that's what I expect to see. So it's an aligned file because I can see dashes which represent insertions and deletions, and I can see sections of sequence which are aligned. So I've done that for the first one. So I did that for HA. So I need to edit my command line to now run it for the second one. When I do the tabs, it keeps incorrectly completing. So it's telling me that that's the aligned one. So I want to remove the aligned because I want to work with the unaligned sequences. And I also want to work with the NAs and not the HAs. And I also need to edit the output sequence name because that needs to match with it being NA and not HA, and it's also Clustal-Omega and not muscle. So again, I run it, it's completed and finished, and it will have saved the file in this directory. So now I have my 4 alignments.